Attempted murder is when you try to kill somebody but fail. So, classic examples would be shooting a person, stabbing a person, poisoning a person in a situation where you really want that person to die, but for whatever reason they survive and they're not actually killed. Now, willful and premeditated attempted murder in California entails life in prison. So it's very serious. I mean, the penalties and consequences are almost as serious as an actual murder. But that said, we find that attempted murder is one of those crimes where a lot of people get wrongly accused, and in many cases, tragically wrongly convicted. First of all, a lot of times there is mistaken identification. Now, mistaken ID, where witnesses sort of identify the wrong suspect, is the number one reason across California and across the U.S. why people get wrongly convicted. And especially in a situation where, let's say there was a gun used or a knife or some sort of weapon, witnesses to the crime have a tendency to fixate on the weapon and not get a good look at the perpetrator. And in a situation where it's dark or there's a chaotic event or a fight going on, things happen quickly, witnesses and victims are under stress. In those situations, their ability to identify the right perpetrator later in a six-pack lineup or a photo lineup or a live lineup is compromised. And we find time and time again that the wrong person gets arrested because of mistaken identification. Also, we find many times that we have a client who acted in righteous self-defense. So yes, maybe he did use some sort of violence against another person, but the other person was the aggressor. And our client was really just trying to protect himself or protect his family or his friends and was acting in lawful and legitimate self-defense. Sometimes we find a situation where the prosecutor charges attempted murder, but there's no evidence that there was an intent to kill. The prosecutor, to prove this crime, has to show that the perpetrator had an actual intent to kill, that they weren't simply trying to injure the victim or harm the victim, but they were literally trying to end the victim's life. And a lot of times that's not evident, and a lot of times that can't be proven. Here at Shouse Law Group, we've assembled an incredible team across California of former prosecutors, former police officers, investigators, expert lawyers, and we've had a great record of success in attempted murder cases at getting our clients' charges reduced or dismissed.